Hello everyone, welcome back for today's match, and today I got a very high profile match here. Hopefully it's going to be a pretty intense game. It's between two players that I really enjoy watching play. They're very skilled and it's kinda rare to see them clashing against each other, so I'm hoping for a pretty intense match here. Okay, so you're gonna have here on the red side, this red Protoss is LiquidHuK. Huck, as you guys know, is the Canadian Protoss player. He's been living in Korea for a while now, along with his teammates from Team Liquid, HeyPro, Jinro and Ret, and they're all living on the OGS house, Old Generation Starcrafters team, so he has a lot of really good, really strong practice partners. Also, he can play on the Korean ladder, where you can meet a lot of people from the OGS as well, and from the other clans that usually are frequent flyers, so to speak, from the GSL. So I think he's going to be up and ready for the challenge soon enough, because he's been trying to get qualified and still didn't had success. So hopefully in like a couple of months we're going to have LiquidHuK showing up his face on the cameras for us to see his skill playing against the top Koreans on the GSL. Speaking of top Koreans on the GSL, he's going to be facing here against this blue Zerg. And yes, it is the GSL Champion IMNestea, old Brood War veteran. His name in Brood War when he played professionally there was ZergBong, a pretty awesome name, I really like that name. But now he is IMNestea, and in my modest opinion he's one of the finest Zerg players playing this game currently in the whole world. So hopefully we're going to be going for a very powerful match here, very intense match. Okay, so following this match, as you can see, Nestea being cautious, playing safely, getting the spawning pool first, while HuK goes for Forge first. So I think that Nestea had the right decision there, because HuK might be planning some kind of cannon rush, and as you guys saw, he went there on the natural expo, didn't saw any hatchery, so by Nestea not committing himself for some really fast hatchery, fast expo, he's gonna be able to have defenses to fend off an attempt for cannon rush by HuK. HuK is probably considering if he's even gonna place a pylon, but I don't think so. Yeah, he knows that he lost his opportunity the second that Nestea decided to go spawning pool first instead of hatchery first, and he's just pulling back, ninjaing, just stealing a little bit of minerals and heading back with his probe. So a nice move here by Nestea, I would say. Getting that spawning pool first was the key to make sure that you wouldn't be cannon rushed, and HuK knows that, so he's gonna try to advance into the second plan, the plan B from HuK, or the continuation of his plan A. I mean, I'm pretty sure that HuK didn't show up on a game against IMNestea expecting to just cannon rush him, and if it didn't work, it just GG's. So HuK just following his plan, continuing the cannon rush, wasn't successful, but he's going to be able to do other things for now. He might be losing the upper hand by doing this move, was the first failed move, but he's going to be able to recover as long as Nestea doesn't decide to go for any kind of really fast early pressure. For now, as you can see, taking advantage of the fact that he has the Forge, getting a photon cannon on a very nice location, is going to be able to keep tabs on everything moving here and poking at any unit advancing, while Nestea is moving with his Overlord, just slowly dragging it around, but making sure that HuK didn't went for any proxy pylon or any kind of surprise. Now, two Zerglings following this probe, just giving up. I guess that Nestea is not very worried about the information that this probe might be able to pick up for now. I don't think that Nestea even built anything else on his main base. He's just getting his hatchery up and running on the natural expo. So HuK only found the spawning pool once again, the same he already did before, and now this probe is gonna get caught by that queen, backed up by a couple of Zerglings and killed, so it's basically over there. So the answer from HuK to this natural expo from Nestea, and now placing some static defenses in it, was instead of making any kind of fast push or early pressure, he went for a nexus of himself. So he's going to establish his econ game, making sure he's going to be able to balance it. Keep in mind that Nestea is already working on it, already has several workers there, and as you can see, though the harvester count is fairly similar, you see that on the income there's quite a gap, basically because the base on the natural expo from HuK is still not finished, so his workers are still waiting here on this mineral line, waiting for their chance to advance. Meanwhile, on HuK's build, he went Forge into Gateway, into Cybernetics Core, and now building another Gateway and another one. So 3 Gateway play, 4 Gateway play soon enough. I wonder if HuK is going to plan any kind of pressure with this 4-gate. I guess we're going to have to wait just a little bit longer. Notice that IMNestea has been placing his overlords, one on the top south of the main base of HuK, another one on the top south, this one on the top north, and this one on the top south of the natural export from HuK, preparing them probably to keep tabs on the movements from HuK, see what he's building. And what I can see is that HuK is going for a lot of gateways, 5 gateways already, while on IMNestea's side he's going to transition into some roach play, and from what I can see already has plenty of roaches, and they're going to meet in the middle of the map. There's a small red blob advancing on the minimap, and they're going to meet right here in the middle of the map. Plenty of roaches, nice force field play by HuK, trying to split the group. He only got 2 roaches on the front of those force fields, but he was able to fend away all of the rest of the group. As you can see, they're all hanging on the back, powerless, not being able to do anything about the roaches getting killed in the front. Now the Zerglings surrounding the sentries, nice move there, killing all of those sentries. A single one survived and is running back, while apparently IMNestea is preparing a push into the natural expo from HuK. Will be HuK able to defend this? There's plenty of roaches and Zerglings there, but HuK has some static defenses here. As you can see, this photon cannon, the roaches can even reach it. It's on the high ground, and there's a second one getting established, but now incoming an overlord, and this overlord is going to give visibility to IMNestea to shoot down that photon cannon. Nice move there. Also very good force field play by HuK, containing the advance of the roaches, and I don't think these roaches will be successful on this attack. There's not much left of the group that IMNestea sent here. He destroyed the static defenses, both of those photon cannons, but now the ground units from HuK will be able to thwart this attack, and IMNestea failed this attempt. Nice defense by HuK. HuK now placing his robotics facility on a very risky place, I would say, right on the front of his natural expo. Well, he knows what he's doing. For now, robotics facility here, and he's going to get some observers out, making sure he's going to be able to take a peek at what is IMNestea doing. HuK playing out of 3, 4, 5, 6 gateways already, while IMNestea went for the links into the roaches, and now a spire going down. So he is transitioning once again, keeping tabs on his opponent. Notice this bottleneck that he's making. He's going to be containing his opponent and checking on all of his moves when he controls this Xel'Naga watchtower. HuK needs to do something about this, and he is sending some forces to shoo away this group. There it is, it's done. While IMNestea advances with his overseer to take a look at all the units and all the buildings that HuK has on his main base, pulling back once again, and meanwhile HuK just advancing with his observer, heading towards the bases from IMNestea. And notice that meanwhile IMNestea picked up a 3rd base here on this corner. It's quite a good position, mind, that is very far away from where all the action has been occurring. So as long as he is able to keep that place secret, he's going to be able to benefit from the income from it just easily. Can send a lot of workers there and just benefit from all the income that it will come out of a place so hidden like this one. There it is, hatchery going down, still a secret for now. HuK doesn't know that that place exists. He needs to start sending some workers there, and notice how he establishes his units on this Xel'Naga watchtower, making sure he's going to be able to transfer units towards this pass here without HuK noticing. Meanwhile on HuK's side, he's going for a Twilight Council, so we might be having a nice answer back to this Mutalisk wing that IMNestea is preparing. I would say that he might be considering some Blink Stalkers, and Blink Stalkers can hop right under the Mutalisks and just shoot them all down. Quite effective. There might be useful on this situation, but I guess we're going to see it soon enough. For now, IMNestea just holding back a little bit, flanking his opponent, taking a look at what's going on his opponent's bases. Now advancing full south, trying probably to approach the base, the natural expo from HuK from the south side. Let's see if he's able to even poke at it. Not even close. There's plenty of static defenses here. Look at the amount of photon cannons that HuK established here. And apparently we're set here for a very strong macro game, which is kind of good in my modest opinion. As you guys can see, there's already the Blink getting researched by the Twilight Council, so we're gonna have Blink Stalkers soon enough. And they're fairly effective against Mutalisks, but apparently IMNestea is not very concerned about it and is committing himself to building a lot of Mutalisks. Look at this big wing here, there's 5 more in production and also getting the upgrade for his Mutalisks. Another attempt on advancing here on the north side of the main base, thwarted once again by the big wave of Stalkers with Blink. They're almost finished. They actually don't have blink yet, but it's almost finished there. And meanwhile, IMNestea picking up a 4th base, so 4 base play against 2, this is not good. Income-wise, HuK is going to suffer from it. He needs to do something about it. There goes his Overseer. And HuK needs to consider expanding soon enough. For now, as you can see, there's an observer flying around. I would like to know if HuK spotted this place. Oh, he saw the creep there. Okay, so he saw the creep there. He knows that IMNestea has been expanding and he needs to do something about it. He needs to expand as well, keep the econ game balanced, because as you guys know at the moment, worker count, there's a huge difference, and it shows on the income as well. So HuK now committing himself to get the rich mineral field. It is a good option. Meanwhile, on the production facilities, let's take a look at what's going on here. IMNestea has a massive Mutalisk wing. Look at this. Advancing once again on the north side, focusing fire on those photon cannons. One down, second one will be down. How fast those photon cannons go. But now all the blinks showing up. The blink stalkers, nice blink almost on top and hurting those Mutalisks, forcing them to pull back. Templar Archives already down meanwhile. So I would say that HuK is preparing himself to reinforce his army with some High Templars, also not getting more upgrades from here, instead getting the Psy Storms. So I would say we're going to see a lot of High Templars soon enough. Meanwhile, another face-off between the Mutalisks and the Stalkers on the main base of HuK, trying to fend off that assault. Once again able to with nice blink moves, and look at how painful this is. Really hurt Mutalisks here. There's a lot of them almost dead, like a couple, 3 more shots and they will be down. There's another clash occurring here on the Xel'Naga Watchtower. Several Zerglings trying to surround the forces from HuK, but it's a big bulk here and IMNestea was forced to pull back. Still one Overlord hanging here. This Overlord knows that HuK went for the rich mineral field exactly, and meanwhile the confrontation ensues on the middle of the screen, on the middle of the minimap, with a Mutaling army now by IMNestea. Let's take a look at the unit composition. 17 Mutalisks, 26 Zerglings, and that's it. Mutaling basically, while you have 20 Stalkers, 11 Zealots and 2 Sentries for HuK. So HuK making a more balanced composition, and those 20 Stalkers with blink will be able to apply a lot of pressure into his opponent. Incoming Mutalisks once again trying to apply the pressure, but they're not able to against this big blob of units, even with the shield from the sentry helping it out. So not easy for IMNestea to actually break into this army of HuK. Once again HuK advancing into the middle of the map, while there's a small wave of Zerglings flanking here on the right side. All of the units flying above the base from HuK, not doing any damage whatsoever, focusing fire on that photon cannon, and now we're going to have a load of Zerglings entering the base. Oh, big stream of Zerglings advancing. Oh, nice blink there by HuK, jumping from the ledge, the bottom, to the top of the ledge with those blink stalkers, and now shooting down most of those Mutalisks, and even some Psy Storms helping out, grinding down that big wing that IMNestea has been making. Taking a look at the production, more upgrades incoming, as you guys can see on IMNestea's base. He's getting himself into the Hive Tech and getting 2 upgrades, 2 Evo Chambers, also the Spire established there, and apparently you're going to have a big clash occurring here. Nice Psy Storm going on top of those Zerglings that were trying to grind down and surround the Stalkers. Very well positioned, those Stalkers that blinked onto the top of this ledge here, with the Zealots just finishing off most of that Zergling force and forcing IMNestea once again to pull back. IMNestea working out of the rich mineral field, actually making 5 base play, as you guys can see. This one is basically mined out, so mineral wise is only 4 bases, but there's a lot going on IMNestea's side. He's been macroing his ass off, so to speak, and he's been doing 5 base play and keeping the lead on the econ game. Now HuK realizing that and knowing that he needs to advance, now picking up another base here, a 4th base, and roaming around with the big bulk of his forces in the middle of the map, just taking a look at what IMNestea is doing, trying to contain him, and whoa, trying to assault the rich mineral field, but there's a lot of static defenses there, as well as up there, as you guys can see, so many spine crawlers that IMNestea did. Nice Psy Storms going down on that top corner, making sure that If the Mutalisks wanted to risk pass, they would be grinded down. But look at the amount of static defenses that IMNestea establishes there. Oh, that's going to be hard to break. But HuK decided to just go to another base. This one has plenty of static defenses as well, but HuK has so many forces that it just passed right through them, blinking back down once again and shooting down all of those spine crawlers, while finally IMNestea pulls back all of his forces, making sure he's going to be able to defend this assault, bringing more and more Mutalisks onto the fray, trying to shoo away the forces from HuK. HuK is just wreaking havoc on this expo from IMNestea, but there's way too many Mutalisks. Look at the amount of Mutalisks here, finishing off the bulk of the forces from HuK, and nice defense. Keeping up the base alive, though we lost a lot of workers there. So for now we have IMNestea containing the advance from HuK. HuK is keeping tabs obviously with this observer, and now he's gonna probably advance south from what I can see. Incoming just Zerglings, taking a look around at the bases, see what's going on. IMNestea even sent a couple of Zerglings all the way to the base on the left side of this one, making sure that HuK still didn't pick it up. Nice Side Storm right on top of those Mutalisks, forcing IMNestea to make a split, so HuK is going to be forced to decide where to place his Side Storms. Now trying to make a split with his Mutalisks and kill off all of the Stalkers, but not enough, not even close. The amount of Stalkers on the army of HuK is just so much that IMNestea is going to need to muster up his Mutalisk wing once again. As you can see, 11 Mutalisks against, where's the Stalkers at the moment? Only 8. He's getting Archons, Immortals, Zealots, also High Templars. So I think that HuK is just establishing himself here and making sure he's going to have a strong enough army to finish off this Mutalisk wing, in which, by the way, IMNestea has been investing a lot for a long time. He's not transitioning to anything else. He's been doing Mutaling for like ages now. There's an Infestation Pit. Maybe we're going to see some Infestors later on. Here, finally a Greater Spire, so we might be seeing some Broodlords soon enough. There it is, already Corruptors getting built, and HuK advancing to the south side, because he sent, as you guys can see here, he advanced with some probes to establish his 5th base on this corner, but this couple of Zerglings that IMNestea left here just finished them off, and now with this unit he's going to finish it off and probably establish his 5th base and balance the income. Meanwhile, incoming Broodlords, but notice this observer here. HuK is checking all of this out and he knows that there's Broodlords incoming, so which way will he be going on his production? Let's take a look at it. For now, more upgrades, ground level 2, and now a lot of Stalkers getting ready to go. I think that HuK is going to commit himself to a very heavy Stalker play. He has plenty here, by the way. Let's take a look at the units once again. 22 Stalkers is a lot, and I think he's going to risk using them to face against those Broodlords. Let's see if that's the case or not. For now, as you can see, there's a big blue blob on the minimap getting ready to advance. It's basically Zerglings with Mutalisks, and whoa, look at this Zergling tsunami. Look at them, it feels like a wave. Sorry, I'm going to have to take the HP bars out. There's so many of them, it even confuses me. And here they come, advancing with the Broodlords flanking on the left side of the forces of HuK. Actually, they're taking the spearhead here. They're going ahead, bit risky, they're completely unprotected. HuK spotted, nice blink right on top of those Broodlords. Whoa, massive Side Storms grinding down all of those Zerglings. There's nothing left. Oh, beautiful play by HuK. He just grinded down all of the forces from IMNestea, blink on top of the Broodlord, Side Storms on the Zerglings, and there's nothing left. Oh, beautiful play. IMNestea must be happy about this one. Not. But incoming all the forces from HuK now, advancing into the static defenses from IMNestea. He has so many spine crawlers, all of them trying to fend off this assault, this massive wave from HuK, but I don't think it will be enough. Now Side Storms going down on top of those Zerglings and spine crawlers, while the Zealots are just getting hold on the back. Zealots need to go to the front, come on. Zealots need to stand in the front, absorb the damage and slice and dice those spine crawlers. Let's get the HP bars up again. Now it seems a bit more calmer and able to withstand the amount of colored bars. And incoming all of the units from HuK, but as you guys saw there on the production tab, IMNestea decided to transition finally into Ultralists. So now that HuK committed himself to a lot of Stalker play, he's going to bring the Mutalisks, which are a fairly good counter. They can wreak havoc amongst armored units, and that's exactly what they're doing. Look at how fast they grounded down what was left of HuK's army. So nice transition here. Now a nice move here by HuK, getting several of these stalkers on top of that ledge, making sure that the Ultralisks won't be able to touch them. And now the Ultralisk just decided to go down. IMNestea just decided to pull them all south and advance into this base here on the south side from HuK, making sure he's gonna try to destroy it. No, now pulling back up again because there's reinforcements showing up on the back. Lots of blink stalkers trying to shoot down as many of this Ultralisks as possible, and most of them are very, very weak at the moment, as you can see, so they won't be able to withstand a lot of shots. Incoming Ultralisks trying to get a nice surround, a nice circle around those stalkers and grind them down. HuK trying to micro them to the back every time they get hit, but there's not enough left. HuK forced to pull back. Now the Ultralisk knocking on the doors of his base. There's plenty of static defenses. Beautiful psi storms coming down there, as you can see, but wasn't enough. Still the Ultralisk roaming around the mineral field, killing probes, killing static defenses and stalkers, and more incoming from IMNestea. So IMNestea is committed to advance into this base. Will HuK be able to defend this one? It's getting complicated here, but more psi storms going down and a couple more units showing up from HuK, fusing some Archons, trying to get them to finish off what's left of this big Ultralisk wave. There's only 2 Ultralisks left now, and now some Zerglings showing up to defend, but there's plenty of Stalkers here on the top, shooting down all the units from IMNestea, and IMNestea decided to pull back. He had enough of the bashing, he needs to reinforce once again. Infestor play showing up now. Will they be good enough against this unit composition from HuK? I think they will be useful at least against these Stalkers. As you can see, they can immobilize them and they won't be able to blink. So Infestors backed up by those Ultralisks, if they get a proper surround, they will be able to grind down those Stalkers by the pile. Oh, this Immortal got caught offhand, yeah, killed instantly. Now let me mention that meanwhile, while we were following all this action, there was a Nidus and a new base established there by IMNestea. But once again, IMNestea advancing into this base is committed to want this one destroyed. But there's so many forces from HuK always showing up here and defending. More Archons trying to fend off the assault. Look at all the units getting ported on that pylon there on the left side. And now Ultralisks backed up by the Infestors, trying to finish them off, but they can't climb the ramp. There's 3 Archons on the front, grinding down all of those Ultras. Nice play by HuK. Once again, very well defended. Strong defense there. And as you can see, now you have IMNestea transferring his workers to this island here, to this new base that he established with the Nidus network. And he also has another one here, so he's going to try to pick up both islands and recover the income, because at the moment, as you can see, his bases are all basically exhausted. That might reflect on the income. Still balanced because, well, both players have been exhausting their bases, obviously. But from what I can see on the minimap, at the moment is IMNestea working out of 2 bases, and HuK has 3 bases. I can see the mineral lines there on the minimap. What else did he build? Not much here, even the gas is exhausted. Here we have the Ultralisk Cavern and the Infestation Pit, and once again HuK advancing with his units. Production tab, more Ultralisks getting produced by IMNestea, while the Stalker Force advances into this Ultralisk once again. Nice Psi Storms on top of those Ultralisks, and the Archons backing it up. Beautiful use of the Archons here, by the way. And now he's finally at the doors of the Natural Export from IMNestea, and I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do here. Let's see the army at the moment. As you can see, it's still balanced, 147, 137, 10 difference is not like the biggest gap ever, but still there's not enough forces here to hold on against this assault. Might be a sign that IMNestea has a lot more workers. Let's see the income. No, not really, 87. So there's just forces missing here by IMNestea. He needs to bring down some forces. He has some Ultralisks here, but it's not enough, and he just lost his Natural Expo, with HuK now advancing with all of his forces into his main base. And notice on the bottom right of the minimap you have the second island expansion where IMNestea was trying to expand. There was a drop occurring there. You can check it on the picture-in-picture screen, and HuK is just wreaking havoc on that island, making sure that IMNestea won't be able to benefit from the income. And now I think we're ready to get a massive blow here. IMNestea already lost the Ultralisk Cavern and the Infestation Pit, and now he's losing all of the buildings on his main base. I'm not sure how he's gonna recover from this, not even sure what his plan is, but it's a huge blow. There goes his Greater Spire, and I can see that on the production tab he has the Spire and Spine Crawlers and more Mutalisks getting built, but there's not much left of of his army. Let's take a look at the units at the moment. 20 Mutalisks, 1 Ultra, 3 Queens, that's it. On HuK side, 25 Stalkers, 2 High Templars, 3 Archons, 3 Immortals, 8 Zealots. So HuK is leading the way here, is dominating, taking all of these bases one by one from the hands of IMNestea, and destroyed all of his production facilities. So something is wrong for IMNestea. How we will be able to recover from this, I'm not sure, but apparently IMNestea decided to make a final stand with a big Mutalisk wing onto this expo from HuK, trying to destroy some units, while HuK advances into this base, which was the rich mineral field. Is exhausted now. You guys can follow it, can follow the Mutalisks on the picture window anyway. And another base destroyed. HuK just surgically and just slowly poking at all of the bases from IMNestea and making sure he's not going to be able to have enough income to keep up reinforcing his army. Once again, HuK advancing here into this base which he already been before. Lots of static defenses with an Ultralisk trying to fend off the assault, and HuK actually pulling back, but will be pulling back for long enough for IMNestea to recover? I don't think so. There's the Mutalisk wing getting shot down so fast by all of those Stalkers. 2 Stalkers trying to poke at those Mutalisks. Mutalisks are 1-2, so the Stalkers are ahead at the moment, and with the blink, so they can follow after this Mutalisk wing. I think they'll do just fine. Nice blink there, catching more of those units off guard, and now gathering up the big bulk of his army. HuK advancing once again. The High Templars on the front line, not a good idea, but incoming all of the Immortals and Stalkers, making a big bulk, a big ball here, a metal ball, trying to shoot down all of those static defenses, with IMNestea trying to split his Mutalisk force in 2 groups, but it isn't enough. Look at how fast those Stalkers go through the Mutalisks. Once again joining all of those Mutalisks. IMNestea trying to make a final stand, but it's just getting grinded down, and nothing left from the defenses of IMNestea. Huge blow on his plans. Army count, let's take a look. 166 versus 79, and IMNestea just GG's out of the match. Was way too much, and boy am I tired. Okay, well, game over. Very powerful move here by HuK. He actually, in the beginning of the game, I was thinking he was losing the advantage, that IMNestea was tipping the scale on his favor, but not really. And I think that the big factor was that big fight in the middle with the Broodlords and the Zerglings, where HuK just did brilliantly, just destroyed his opponent brilliantly with the right counters, bunch of Blink Stalkers, a lot of Psy Storms right on top of all those Zerglings, and just a brilliant play there. Well, the game is done. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you all later. Have fun.